Hello, fifth graders. This is the month of May, and that means we are almost done with this school year. And it's been a very different and unusual school year, but you know what the good news is? We made it, right? It wasn't easy, but we made it. During the month of May, we spent a lot of time with fifth graders talking about the transition from elementary to middle school. And it's quite a big change going from one teacher to different teachers, from one classroom to different classroom, going from a small area to having to walk across the new school. So there are a lot of differences. And I know a lot of you have or will be talking to Mr. Conrad and Mr. Foley, the two principals at West Middle School. I hope those conversations are helping you answer those questions you may have and maybe calm some of those nerves down. Now, if you're nervous, that is okay. Everybody goes through this experience of being nervous because it is quite a big change. So what I want to do with this video is give you guys some of my tips for middle school. And I also have a video project that I did because you guys inspired me to do this. And I'll explain that to you when we get to that part of this video. These tips are in no particular order. So the first thing I want you guys to know is that change is coming. Going from elementary to middle school is different. There's a lot of things that are different. A lot of time, almost every time when change comes, we think of it as a bad thing, but it not have to be a bad thing. This is one of those times where change is a good thing. The reason we do not like change is because we are afraid or we have fear about the change. What does that change mean? What will it bring? What will things look like? How will I do with this change? And these are all normal. It is perfect to feel this way. Everybody that has gone through change go through these questions. Okay, so no, it is normal to be worried about this stuff. Change is coming, but not a bad thing. So once you can embrace that change a little bit, it made the transition from elementary to middle school a whole lot easier. Another tip I would like to share with you is go ahead and join those new clubs and organizations and sports that you will have in middle school. This is an opportunity for you to meet new people, but also people that have a common interest as you. And that kind of makes something a little bit easier when making new friends because you already know what you have in common with them. So go ahead and take those positive risks and join those clubs and groups and organizations. There's a lot of change coming. And then you kind of have to change with it a little bit too. And things take time. I want you guys to know things take time. We try something new, we try something different. It doesn't always work the first time. If it does, that's great. If it doesn't, you got to keep trying again, or maybe you have to tweak it a little bit, just change something a little different. I want you to know things take time. It takes time to make new friends. It takes time to figure out the layout of the school. It takes time to understand how your teachers do things. It takes time to understand what it means to be in middle school. Okay, so don't rush it. Just accept the fact that some things take more time than others. We spent a lot of time talking about the differences between elementary and middle school. Yes, there are a lot of differences, but there's also a lot of similarities. And one of those similarities is that every staff member in the school cares and wants you guys to be successful. So one advice I would give you is to get to know your teachers and the staff members at West or wherever you are going. Form a good relationship with them, a positive relationship with at least one, if not two adult members, so you have somebody to go to if you need help. I know it's very hard to ask for help, and there's nothing wrong with asking for help, but it sure does help if you have an adult that can help you with that help. Boy, that's a mouthful, isn't it? But you get my point. One thing that I would like to share with you guys is a tip on how to be successful, not just in middle school, but also in high school and beyond in your life, is you have to be more organized. Now, one of the things you have to do is you have to keep track of all your assignments. Whereas in elementary school, you have primarily one teacher, so they keep track of all the assignments. But in middle school, you have different teachers and you have different assignments for each of those teachers. So you need to have something like a planner or a notebook that you can write down all your assignments in. And then that way you know what you have to do for homework. Another way to be organized is maybe to color code things. By that, what I mean is you choose a color for every subject. When I was in middle school and in high school and in college, red was always math. And the reason being was when I started doing this in middle school, my book was a red math book. So every time I did anything with math, it was in my red notebook or my red folder. And that made it easy for me when I was in my locker or something like that. I'm like, oh, there's the red notebook. I knew that was math. And science was black for me, especially in high school. I always thought of science as blowing things up, and the black represented smoke. So I had a black notebook, and that is why I had all my science stuff. And social studies was always blue because of water. Geography, I always thought of blue being that way. So that might be a way to help you to be more organized when you are in middle school and high school and beyond. Middle school does provide the opportunity to meet a lot of new people. And that's great, meeting new people that potentially could be your friends. One thing I would advise you about meeting new people and making friends is make friends with people who make good choices. Friends that make bad choices can drag you down, and I know you don't want to be dragged down. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are helping you become a better person, who inspire you to be better or to push you to do better. So make sure you are surrounding yourself and that you are making friends with people who are helping you and making good choices. This tip is probably the hardest one for me to tell you guys. And what it is that friendship change a lot, especially in middle school. And this is hard for me to tell you guys because I know a lot of you guys have been very good friends, best friends for many years. You guys have known each other for a long time. But I do want you to be aware that friendships do change in middle school. And part of the reason this happened is because you guys are not in the same classes. You guys might not have the same lunch. You guys might not have the same teachers. You guys might not even see each other and in middle school. So that does change the way your friendships are. Is this good or a bad thing? Neither. It's just how it is. But what this does mean, though, it does mean that if you have a friend that you really care about, you're going to have to make sure you put a lot of extra time being a friend to that friend and being with that friend. I want to end these tips with two of them together. The first one is believe in yourself. You will have a lot of things coming your way in life, but you have skills, you have abilities, you have talent, and you have people that will help you. So believe in yourself and know that you can do this. Whatever it may be in your way, I know that you can do it, but you need to believe in yourself. The other thing that I want you to know is always be kind and always be a good friend. Those two things never get old, and you get far in life with just those two things, being kind and being a good friend. So I've been trying to come up with something positive and inspiring to say to you guys as this is my last video. And nothing seemed to work. As I think about you guys as the class of 2027, I just could not seem to find the right thing. And then I started thinking about you guys in general. And I started thinking about how last year, how you guys welcomed me and you made me feel comfortable at Blackhawk. And I really did appreciate that. And like this year and last year, I look forward to going to your classrooms and, the conversations we had, the different things we did, and getting to know you guys better. I really enjoy that. So thank you for those good times. So one thing I want to do is I kind of want to take a little step back to the beginning of this year. If you remember, like the first week I came in, I brought in my toolbox. And we talked about how the more tools you have, the more things you can do. And I had like a hammer, and we said a hammer can nail, a hammer can pull something out. But then I had a piece of wire, and I said, well, how can I take this wire out with a hammer? We said we can't, we need a different tool. So that's why we had the pliers. We used the pliers to pull out that wire. And that's what I hope I did this year, was put more tools in your toolbox. So I kind of want to review some of the lessons we did this year to kind of remind you of some of those tools that you have now. So in the beginning of the year, we spent a lot of time on friendships. If you remember, like the first or second week of school, I had you guys asking each other questions to find out what you had in common. That's one of those social skills you are always going to need, is introducing yourself and getting to know other people. And you'll see this every time you go into a new classroom, or you go to a new school, or you go to a new job. You'll always want to get to know the people around you. And by asking questions and listening to them, you will get to know those people. We also talked about what people do that we like or we look for in a friend, and things that people do that bug us. You guys remember I had you write them down on a sticky note and you put them up on my whiteboard, and we kind of went through them. What's really cool is all three classrooms had almost the same thing. In some cases, you guys even had the same words on your sticky notes and overall what you're looking for, qualities in friends, and what people do that bug you. I also had you guys do some survey slash inventory to get to know yourself better. One of them was the learning style. So you guys learned if you learn best by seeing or by hearing or by doing things with your hands. You guys also did the true color personality test, which you could be one of four colors. You could have been orange, blue, green, or gold. And I hope that just kind of gave you a little understanding more about who you are. And I think that's something that's really important to me, is that you get to learn about yourself and figure out who you are as a person. A lot of times we ask ourselves, why do I do this? Or why this, or how come this is this way? And I feel that a lot of times as we get to know ourselves more, then those questions kind of get answered. And I kind of want to help you find some of those answers. Another one of those inventories you did was the conflict personality. If you remember, you could have been one of the three different animals. You could have been a turtle who avoided conflict. You could have been an owl who tried to listen to all sides and work it out, or you could have been the shark, which is the aggressive personality with conflict. Again, I just hope that you guys learned a lot about yourselves through that. We also talked about some conflict resolution. We talked about working things out. We talked about I statements. So we did a lot of things that I hope added some more tools into your toolbox. So one thing that I really appreciate about you guys, that you guys have always been willing to try something new and different. And one of those big things that we did that was new and different this year was the Red Ribbon Week. I try to let you guys take a big role in the decoration. You guys made posters, you guys made banners, you guys did cutouts, you guys did a lot of different things. And you know what? It went very well, I thought. I mean, teachers liked it, students liked it. I actually had some students say, "Oh, can we do that when we're in fifth grade?" I don't know. Let's see what happens when you get there. So, and you guys, we won the School Spirit Award for Red Ribbon Week, so I thought it went really well. And again, that's an example of something new and different, and you guys just went with it. And it was successful. Even like going to School of Mines was the first time I've ever done that. And you guys did an awesome job, and I hope we can do it again. The teachers and I were talking about going up to Black Hills State University in spring, this spring. As we know, that did not happen. But because of you guys, willing to take that chance and try something new and different, we are able to look into the future and try new things. So thank you guys for doing that. And that's what you guys have done to inspire me to try something. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been wanting to try some videos or video editing. And so as I was working through trying to figure out what I was going to say to you guys, I said, this, I think, is the best way to show you guys the impact you've had on me. So I'm going to try something new and different. And I just want to let you guys know, keep on having that courage to try something new and different. Keep being bold and courageous. Thank you very much, class of 2027. I will miss you guys, but keep going on forward. Thank you for everything you have done. I wish you all the best. Take care.